It's midnight on the East Coast, 9 p.m. in Nevada, where doors are now closed at 141 caucus sites across the Silver State. That means Fox News can now project that businessman Donald Trump will win Nevada's Republican presidential caucuses based on Fox entrance polls. Florida Senator Marco Rubio appears to be ahead of Texas Senator Ted Cruz in the battle for second place, although it's too early to know for sure. Far behind are Ohio Governor John Kasich and retired neurosurgeon Ben Carson.
This is the third win in a row for Donald Trump, who earlier this month won South Carolina and New Hampshire after placing second in Iowa. So Trump's 3 out of 4 winning streak gives him significant momentum as he heads into Super Tuesday next week, which is the biggest prize of this campaign so far.
And you can see the cheering at Trump headquarters there in Las Vegas. Let's bring back our panel here in New York City. Steve Hayes, Kirsten Powers, Juan Williams, and Dana Perino. Hard to overstate how significant this is, 3 in a row.
No, Trump by a mile, big tailwind behind his back. And also on the question of his ceiling, it could be that the more you win, then the more you can raise your own ceiling. And I think it's what you'll hear from the Rubio camp, I think, is that they're going to try to get this to a 2-person race. And that is quite a remarkable story, since after New Hampshire, Marco Rubio was almost declared dead on arrival, like he was not going to go anywhere. He came back to get second in South Carolina, second tonight. That's big for them. And so going into Super Tuesday, you have Trump and Rubio.
You know, talk about Marco Rubio for a minute here, Juan, because Rich Lowry just tweeted out, I bet the Rubio campaign or the other campaigns are wishing they had thought of Trump's 2-1-1-1 strategy. I mean, originally Rubio was said to have had a 3-2-1 strategy. 2-1-1-1 is pretty good.
Much better.
Right.
Highly recommended.
If you're right? I mean, he's, you tell me, is there any stopping him now?
I don't see it. You know, everybody's looking for strategies. Early in the evening, I said people who decided late seem to go toward Rubio. But what strikes me is that Donald Trump tonight has won across all lines. So if you look at people who are self-defined as evangelicals, Donald Trump wins. People who identify as strong conservative, Donald Trump wins. Even people who identify as moderate conservatives, Donald Trump wins. So exactly, you know, what's the hope here? I don't know. You talk about the 2-1-1, 3-1-2 strategy. Marco Rubio's got to win somewhere, right?
There needs to be a 1.
You need a 1. That's it. You're good at this.
Yeah.
Kirsten, I mean, this is, you know, you paint the picture of an outsider taking over a party that may actually lead to a nomination. Right. I mean, he's essentially turned this whole thing upside down.
Yeah, he has. And look, I think you have, when you start to try to map out how do you stop Donald Trump, and I know Steve's going to probably disagree with me, you have to start employing almost magical thinking to a certain extent. You have to start saying, you know, Rubio is going to somehow, Kasich's going to drop out, and Rubio is going to win Ohio, and then he's going to win Florida, and you start piecing together things that just require a lot of different moving pieces. Or Cruz is going to drop out, and then it'll be a, you know, head-to-head between Trump and Rubio, but why is Cruz going to drop out? And so there's a lot of things that have to happen that probably aren't going to happen. Mm-hmm. And so it definitely looks, unless, like I said, somehow Cruz drops out or Rubio drops out, I don't see how you stop him.
You know, Stuart Stevens, who was a former Romney advisor, was on the program earlier, and he was saying that you know, past his prologue. So if Rubio or Cruz want to beat Donald Trump, they need to change something about what they're doing, because what they're doing isn't working so far.
No, that's exactly right. Marco Rubio said yesterday, this is not about going after Donald Trump. This election is about who's best capable of uniting the GOP. That may have been the case. That might be what he wishes was the case. At some point, this election is going to be about going after Donald Trump if you're going to be Marco Rubio.
Look at the electability number tonight.
Right.
Only 25% of this, you know, according to the entrance polls, are buying that Marco Rubio line that I'm the most electable. These people are, they don't really care, according to this number.
They can, yeah, but it's been an interesting fluctuation in that who can win in November. 21% said that was most important in Iowa, 12% in New Hampshire, 15% in South Carolina, 24% in Nevada. So it's important. I think it was the second most important candidate quality of the ones posed to voters tonight. But it's not so important that it's going to lead to Marco Rubio's victories. I actually don't disagree with Kirsten. The more Donald Trump wins, obviously, the more likely he is to be the Republican nominee. 5% of the delegates have been allocated today, as of today, just 5%. So there's still time. You wouldn't declare a winner of a football game after the 3rd minute of the 1st quarter. But having said that, I mean, if people want to take on Donald Trump, want to bring him down, they can't be waiting too much longer.
Panel, thank you.